Hello and welcome to this first episode of The King's English. Today, in this first video, we are looking at how to learn English. Not just taking lessons, the other things that you can do to self-study and to improve. How to learn English. Tips for improving your learning skills. Take notes. This is always a good place to start. Keep a notebook to use during these videos. This is very important. It is vital to keep good notes. This, of course, you can do in any way that works best for you. I always used the front of the book for grammar and the back of the book for vocabulary. That way, everything is in the same place, and I can revise any new tenses or words. You could use a physical notebook, the notes section on your phone, a Word document on a computer. You can organize your notes in any way which helps you, but do keep organized notes and revise them. Revision is the most important way that you can learn English. In order to improve on the grammar that we will learn together, the vocabulary that we will see, you absolutely must revise regularly, every day. How I would normally do it would be to make a small table like this on, for example, a Word document. I can add the words, for example, there in English and also in your first language. So I would add the English words on one side and then the translation in your first language on the other. Any type of vocabulary I would put on the vocabulary sheet. New words, new nouns, verbs, any verbs which have irregular past participles. For example, here, write, wrote, written. Any adjectives, happy, happier, the happiest. For example, you can add all of that in yourself. Then for false friends, we would call them, or anglicisms. Sometimes in French, for example, they will use an English word, but in English it's not quite the same. Though, for example, with the famous O-U-G-H, the pronunciation can be quite difficult. So it can be a good idea to add in also the pronunciation. Borough, borough, borough in the UK, in the United States, borough. So when there's a difference between UK English and US English, it can be good to point that out. You can also, sometimes a good idea might be maybe for more difficult words than house, for example. You might want to create a phrase, a sentence, to show the word in context. Sometimes there, even with the on, it could be useful to have sometimes the preposition, maybe which goes with a noun, maybe that goes with a verb. Write, wrote, written. Here, because there are the three, they're irregular. I write emails every day, present. I wrote a letter yesterday, for example, past simple. I have written 5 emails so far today, for example. It can be useful to show the past participle in use, to show you the grammar that you should use for each verb. So it can be useful to keep everything in one place, pronunciation, vocabulary, prepositions, past simple form, past participle form, anything to do with adjectives, comparative, superlative, to keep everything in one place, and of course to revise it regularly. This is a very good way to keep organized notes. What you can do is copy and paste the vocabulary from the document directly into an AI and ask AI to make you an HTML flashcard quiz. Flashcards are one of the best ways for you to revise every day and to retain new vocabulary. And then exactly the same thing for grammar. Keep a section for your English grammar. There, for example, the present perfect tense with an explanation of when to use it. To show also maybe the form. I have done, he has done, etc. Show the positive form, the structure, to have an example sentence or two, to show the negative form, to have some examples of the negative form again, and then the same again for the question form. So to have the grammar all in one place. The same with your vocabulary. To have your grammar in one place, your vocabulary in one place. You could use the same Word document. You could, like I usually did when I learned French, have one section of the book for vocabulary, use the other section of the book for grammar. So it's all in one place, easier to revise. You can do the same for grammar. Ask AI to make you exercises to practice the new grammar. Also, importantly, to revise and revise and revise old grammar that we already saw before. Set clear, achievable goals. Setting achievable goals makes your progress much more likely. Start by asking why you are learning English. Is it for travel, work, or just for fun? Break down big, overwhelming goals, like become fluent, into smaller, manageable steps. Rome was not built in a day. No one ever learned a language very, very quickly and succeeded. Slow and steady wins the race. For example, learn 5 new words a day. Watch 10 minutes of an English TV show daily. Having a clear target helps you stay motivated and gives your learning journey direction. Work on your flashcards, even for 5 minutes. Even 5 minutes is more than nothing. It's always better to do as much as you can, even if it's a very little part. Consistency is your superpower. Short, regular study sessions are far more effective than long, infrequent ones. Aim for just 15 to 30 minutes every single day, rather than trying to cram in 3 hours once a week. Your brain actually learns better with consistent, repeated exposure. This is the same for many things in life. you want to exercise 20 minutes or 30 minutes every day is better than 5 hours, one after the other, on a Saturday. There is science to back this up. It's much better to do a little bit regularly than to do a lot rarely. Immerse yourself in English. Make English a natural part of your daily life, beyond just study time. Change your phone language. Listen to English music or podcasts. Watch movies or TV shows. Start with English subtitles, then try without. Even background exposure helps your brain get used to the sounds and rhythms of the language. Immersing yourself in the language means you pretend that you are in the English-speaking world. Everything you watch, everything you listen to, everything you read, as many conversations in English as possible. English, English, English. This is the only way to make a big progress. Even if you listen to yourself in a voice recording, for example, it almost hypnotizes the mind into learning the language. We always say you learn the language quicker if you live in the country where the language is spoken. Maybe you don't have that option, but you can create London or New York around you. Practice all 4 skills actively. It's not enough to just read or listen. You need to actively engage all your language skills. Listening, speaking, reading, listening to music, watching movies, watching series, reading articles, reading books, listening to podcasts, using the King's English, using everything in Instagram in English. You make small progress slowly, but then after you realize a big progress after a few months. That's our goal. Writing. This means that if you can also write in English, it's a very good practice. All the skills that you need, speaking, reading, writing, and listening, these are all different types of exercises that you need to practice in order to progress. Maybe listen to a podcast, then write a short summary, and then try to discuss it with someone. This active engagement is where the real learning happens. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you actively use the language, the better you'll become. Embrace mistakes. Mistakes are good. What we want to do is self-correct. After some time of learning English, you learn to correct your own mistakes. Other people in English probably will not correct you. You need to be able to correct yourself slowly over time. This comes from listening, reading, writing, and speaking as often as you possibly can. Everyone makes mistakes when learning something new. It's a completely normal and necessary part of the process. Don't be afraid to try, speak, or write, even if it feels imperfect. Mistakes are good. What we want to do is self-correct. After some time of learning English, you learn to correct your own mistakes. Other people in English probably will not correct you. You need to be able to correct yourself slowly over time. This comes from listening, reading, writing, and speaking as often as you possibly can. Each mistake you make and learn from is a step closer to getting it right. Focus on communicating your message rather than striving for immediate perfection. English is a language which is spoken everywhere in the world. Most people speak English as a second or other language. We see and hear mistakes all the time. English speakers don't really care about mistakes usually. We are much more interested in understanding and being understood. So don't worry about perfection. Worry about simple communication. Find your why and make it fun. Connect your English learning to things you really enjoy. Love cooking? Find English recipes. A fan of gaming? Play games in English. Interested in history? Watch documentaries in English. When learning is fun, it doesn't feel like work. And you're much more likely to stick with it. Knowing your goal and knowing your reason for learning English will help you to learn it more effectively. Very importantly, this will help you to know which vocabulary you need and which vocabulary maybe you don't need now. So why are you learning English? What is your goal? Maybe you want to improve your English for your job. Maybe you want to travel more, so you need the English language to open the door for you. Use resources wisely. Explore different tools and materials. Language learning apps, online dictionaries, YouTube channels, finding language exchange partners. Don't try to use every resource at once. Find what works best for you and integrate it into your routine. AI another very good resource. Knowing how to use AI is not what we learn with the King's English. Creating flashcards for you to revise, creating exercises for you to practice, and also to have simple conversations in English, and for AI to correct you, to correct your mistakes, so that you learn more and more. Review regularly. Learning something once isn't enough to remember it long term. Review new vocabulary and grammar points periodically. For example, after a day, a week, then a month. This technique helps move information from your short-term to your long-term memory. Track your progress. Keep a simple journal or checklist to note your achievements. Seeing how far you've come is incredibly motivating. Like understanding a conversation you couldn't before. Or understanding song lyrics better. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Celebrate your small victories. Doing the exercises which I provide with my videos on the King's English, you can track your progress very easily by keeping track of your score. Maybe in one exercise you get 60%, for example. Maybe you do the exercise again at a later time and you get 100%. Tracking your progress is very important for you to stay motivated to learn. Follow the path I have designed. Think of your learning journey with the King's English like building a house. You wouldn't start with the roof before the foundation. I have carefully designed these videos and exercises to build on each other, step by step. Be aware of your CEFR level by watching my next video, and follow the videos for your level. I have designed a path with my videos and with the exercises which accompany the videos. The King's English is still very new, and we are continually making new videos and new content. But the goal is for you to watch all the videos in the order that I post them, and very importantly, to do the exercises that accompany them. When we have a lot more content available on the King's English, everything will be in groups according to your level in the language. The next video that we have for you is to show you your level, also for you to do the language test. The test will give you an approximation of your level so that you know, am I beginner? Am I in the middle? Am I advanced? And everything in between. Why order matters. Why order matters. Following the suggested order especially within a playlist, will help you understand concepts more clearly and avoid confusion. Each video introduces something new or reinforces what you've just learned, making your learning smoother and more effective. Sticking to the plan means you'll be building a strong, solid understanding of English grammar and vocabulary. It helps you integrate new knowledge naturally and efficiently. So, whenever possible, I highly recommend following the playlist order I've set up for you. It's designed to make your path to English proficiency as clear and successful as possible. Thank you for watching this video on how to learn English. In our next video, we will look at CEFR levels. Please watch the video. Please also do the language test to give you an idea of where you are with English. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.